And then the second thing was on I didn't share like professionally,
Okay,
like
go ahead.
because I had met, it's the first male that I met with. Irene knows this because it was a very difficult session for me. And so I left like an extended voice note to Irene because in Tel Aviv, like I didn't have a space, to bring someone to. It was like my last week there, and I was staying with a friend and not in my own apartment. And so I went to this person's apartment. And it was very challenging because while he had so much, I could feel so much resistance and tried to address that resistance. The space it's I wanted to share this with everybody because I found that the space itself was holding so much of his energy. So like I think to be aware that when meeting with someone, like either it is in our own space or whether it's on Zoom or a space that we sort of have already cleared, because that created like a very challenging session for me. And I realized it after that being there in his space, like already his energy had so much resistance, and then the actual environment did too. And there's not enough time to clear both. Like I'd have to go 3 hours early or 3 weeks early, like to make that first shift in the actual space. And it was the first man that I had worked with. And I think that in itself, and a gay man, and so how it's also been my intention to work with someone like this and hopefully be a resource in this area. The Yeah, like sort of it felt like someone was like trying, like has been like having talk therapy and and with a psychologist or an analyst for a long time, but so like kind of thought he could put one over me. I don't know. It was like a very different dynamic, flirty also, and like so it was like I kept just sort of like really having to hold my own space and sort of, lead the session and try to go through it. But then afterwards, I was like, whoa, like there was a lot that I was contending with here.
Uh,
And recognize like, okay, this was practice, like how do I now know to be in my own space or on a Zoom instead, and how to even just physically in the physical space go about that. So I really want to share that with all of you too.
Next time when you feel that this difficulty about the space, you just stop
Mm,
and you call the purple flame on the space. You don't
mm,
continue if you feel that,
okay.
because you're not dealing with the proper resistance. You have to address the bigger resistance first, which is probably the creation of all the entities that were there.
Yeah.
So you clear with the purple flame, you just say, sorry. And me, I don't go to people's space
Right. Lesson learned.
unless, a special circumstance, I'm traveling and hosted somewhere, but otherwise, it's tricky. So when
Yeah.
you do Zoom, the person is in her own space, or his own space, but at least you're holding the space from your space.
Hmm.
So, and sometimes it happens when I open a circle, I cannot start. I feel the need to clear the circle first. And if I don't do it, the session won't go the same.
Yeah.
So that's important point that you bring up.
It's interesting also what you mentioned to Rachel about the salts and taking a bath. I was thinking about salts yesterday, even because I'm back in my apartment, but other people have been here. So like even to use salt, like to like wash the floor, like to add a little into the water just to sort of like really clean the space out.
Yeah,
I
but
got that
make sure
message
it's sea
yesterday.
salt. Make sure it's sea salt and not table salt.
Right. And I have actually some salts and it's very small, but I'll use just a little bit from the Yanuka that I thought I would mix. It was used to hold while counting the Omer every night. So they're already like charged and blessed. So I thought
Right.
this could really help with the space.
Yeah, keep it preciously.
Yeah, yeah, just like very few.
Yeah, but call the purple flame, then call the golden light on the space. You can put a big cross salt on the corners also of the house. And then you can wash with sea salt, with sea water. You can even bring a bottle because in New York you have access to the ocean, right?
Hmm.
So you can fill up one or two bottle and
Yeah,
then you mix it with normal water.
right. Okay.